Hi, this is Arthur, and this is a summary and explanation of the world quests Through the Looking Glass, Pursuit, and Happy Birthday, all released in the game Genshin Impact version 4.2. These quests essentially form an epilogue to the whole Narzissenkreuz storyline. These three world quests are linked, and you need to complete them in order to unlock the following one. In order to unlock the first of these quests, you need to complete the world quests Book of Esoteric Revelations and In the Wake of Narcissus. You then need to solve all 6 Looking Glass puzzles. These are puzzles involving glowing mirrors that transport you into a room. I think you can find all 6 during or immediately after the In the Wake of Narcissus world quest. After you complete the last Looking Glass puzzle, the traveler enters a mirror with a sunflower in it. She is transported to the world within the Book of Revealing and sees Canotilla and a dog. Side note, we first encounter Canotilla, the Book of Revealing, and the dog in the world quest Book of Esoteric Revelations. While the traveler sees this world as a void full of floating ruins, Canotilla seems to think it is a beautiful garden. The traveler and Canotilla leave the world within the Book of Revealing and chat. Canotilla says she prefers the world within the Book of Revealing to the real world and wants to go back. Canotilla also seems to be able to understand the dog now, who told her to leave and never come back. Side note, to unlock the following world quest, Pursuit, you must wait 3 in-game days. About 3 in-game days later, the traveler checks on Canotilla and she isn't here. The traveler heads into the world within the Book of Revealing to look for her. The traveler goes in alone as she asks Paimon to wait outside. Once inside, the traveler sees Caterpillar. They chat and Caterpillar says he was here looking for something. They chat some more, but Caterpillar seems confused. The dog comes by and both Caterpillar and the dog warn the traveler to leave. It seems the traveler can understand the dog now. The traveler leaves, and it seems even though she was in there a while, only a moment passed outside. Time doesn't seem to move normally within the world within the Book of Revealing. Side note, I'm not entirely sure, but you must wait over 2 in-game days, maybe 3, to reach the second part of the world quest, Pursuit. At least 2 in-game days later, the traveler goes back into the Book of Revealing to find Canotilla. The traveler finds her, but Canotilla wants to see the dog again and seems reluctant to leave. Canotilla runs off and the traveler chases after her, fighting what seems to be Caterpillar along the way. The traveler eventually finds Canotilla with the dog and what seems to be Caterpillar again. After the traveler beats down Caterpillar, she chats with Canotilla and the dog. The world within the Book of Revealing is doing something to Canotilla and it no longer looks like a beautiful garden to her. The dog also no longer looks like a dog to her. They decide to leave and the dog thanks the traveler for getting rid of someone who shouldn't be here. Side note, I think the dog is thanking them for beating up Caterpillar, which seems to have expelled him from this world. The dog explains this world within the Book of Revealing was going to collapse because someone who shouldn't be here arrived, likely referring to Caterpillar. The dog says the masters of this imaginary world wanted to save the world. Side note, this likely refers to Renee, who later became Narzissenkreuz, leader of the Narzissenkreuz Ordo, and his compatriot Jacob. Based on what was said in the enigmatic pages, Renee likely wrote and created the Book of Revealing. The dog says the masters try to save their friend, but all that's left is the dog, which is just a remaining memory of that friend. Side note, the enigmatic pages also discuss someone named Carter who was a friend to Renee and Jacob and who died. The dog's comments imply he is a memory of their friend Carter. Side note, after the conversation is over, there is a log nearby seemingly written by Jacob. This log explains a lot of the backstory behind the Narzissenkreuz storyline. I'll try to do a quick and dirty summary of that now and add in a few bits of information from the other Narzissenkreuz quests. Renee, Jacob, Elaine, and Anne were orphans raised at an orphanage called the Narzissenkreuz Institute. After they left the orphanage, Renee and Jacob learned of an apocalyptic event that would destroy Fontaine. This is the same event that was resolved in Fontaine's Archon quest. Renee and Jacob later joined the Institute of Natural Philosophy and researched stuff with Elaine and Anne. This is also where they met Carter, another orphan from a previous generation of orphans from the Narzissenkreuz Institute. Carter got sick and died, and Renee and Jacob tried many experiments to try and save him. These experiments resulted in the creation of Caterpillar. It is also around this time when Renee and Jacob secretly came up with a plan to save Fontaine. They would create a being that could house the consciousness of all Fontainians. That being would survive the flood, and all of Fontaine would sort of survive through that being. Jacob and Renee even created a secret organization called the Narzissenkreuz Ordo to help with the plan. Renee would then try to turn himself into that being, but failed and likely died. Elaine and Anne later found out about Renee and Carter and ended their relationship with Jacob. Jacob then used knowledge from Remuria and Conria to try and bring back Renee in some form. After experimenting on members of the Narzissenkreuz Ordo, Jacob created some kind of being similar to what Renee tried to become. Jacob then implants Renee's memories and pieces of his psyche into the being. This being is the monster we fought at the end of the In the Wake of Narcissus world quest. As for what happens next, the traveler resolves everything through the Narzissenkreuz related series of world quests in Fontaine. Back with the traveler and Kanotilla, they leave the world within the Book of Revealing, and Kanotilla cries, thanking the traveler for saving her. Kanotilla says she's done reading books and wants to live in the village with the rest of the Mellowzines. Side note, because of how time is screwed up within the world within the Book of Revealing, we're never sure how long Kanotilla or Caterpillar were actually there. Additional note, you must wait one in-game day to trigger the subsequent world quest, Happy Birthday. About one in-game day later, the traveler visits Earnshaw, who says Lenore was abducted by a hilly churl. The traveler chases after Lenore and finds Caterpillar chatting with her. It's Lenore's birthday and they just shared some cake. Caterpillar hints at the traveler not to talk about what happened in the world within the Book of Revealing. Lenore happily chats about how big the world is, and Caterpillar finishes telling her the story about the apprentice and the fish. Lenore vows that one day she will find Caterpillar and share stories of her own adventures. Just as Caterpillar is about to thank Lenore for something, Earnshaw shows up with an officer from the Maison Gardiennage. Caterpillar runs off. Lenore doesn't tell Earnshaw about Caterpillar and asks the traveler to keep him a secret. And that is the end of this quest in this video. If you like what you've seen here, please like, comment, and subscribe.